You have like
That's like
everything.
15 books, so doesn't it?
It
Too much politics in this
oh
one.
dude, you get so tired of the Wonder Girls after a while.
Yes. Okay, so it's not just me
It's
then.
not just you. I have a friend of mine. She is the biggest Egwene apologist you have ever met. But but then I talked to her and she's like, "Yes, that's true, but she ain't that bad, okay?" Oh man,
Is it though?
you haven't even seen the worst of it yet, Agnes. Just wait.
I know. But like all the stuff they've already started with her, I'm like,
Oh, by the way, we're
there we
live.
go.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome.
The Ninja Lives, love it every time.
This
mean-
time it was only about 30 seconds.
I hate that you cut me off before I could discuss my
I'm sorry.
colonoscopy.
I'm sorry. It's my
At
bad.
this point, we're gonna be like half D&D podcast and half like book review,
Like,
and
honestly,
I'm okay with this.
I should just like release a video of us just talking about books.
I mean, let's throw dice. The book club
I mean,
is.
Zane has the
it's
entire
okay.
plot of Dune down just from all the memes I post in the Discord group.
Listen, from just memes, I was able to write a brief couple sentence summary, and Liam said I got exactly one thing wrong. Like,
Yep.
Yeah. Because Dune is basically primordial memes.
It is.
Oh.
Dune is supposed to be this
Especially-
like super deep study on politics and like really oil, and it's like this great high fantasy where this is Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, and here's his nephew Fade Rautha, and here's his foil Paul.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the epic Dune pun, right?
Probably.
Probably.
Oh, this is one of my favorite literary puns, and then we'll get into the game. The most important thing, the thing that is the most important thing in the Dune universe, is the spice, right?
Yep.
It's a geriatric spice. It creates life. Do you know what the spice name is?
Geriatric spice
Melange. Do you know what melange means in French? Variety. So variety is the spice of life.
Good night,
That's it.
everyone.
Podcast's over. Everybody go
That's
home. See you guys
episode
next
13.
time.
Like, it's so deep. It's phenomenal.
You know,
He wrote an entire series based on a pun.
for a
That's beautiful.
fact that it's Frank, right? Brian's his son, right? Am I remember that?
Frank
Yeah,
Herbert,
Frank. You know for a fact
Yep.
Frank was on his own variety of spice when he was writing those books.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Yep.
60s, super drugs, weirdly horny, but hilarious.
And then
Oh, yeah.
Checks out.
so D&D.
listen, I've tried to think like how do I make Dune but D&D, and it's worms, man. Just worms are everywhere.
Sandworm go bird.
Is it? I thought there was a Dune.
I'm sure.
There has to be.
I
I
think
think Dune
It's
has
pretty
an
cool.
official GURPS adaptation, a second
that so?
edition adaptation, and actually I think Castles and Crusaders as well, which is really weird because Castles and Crusaders is just like a worse version of third edition. So
Yeah, I know Modifius publishes the most recent Dune role-playing game. It's,
oh yeah,
it's
and then
pretty
there's
cool.
the newest one that came
It does,
out.
like, yeah.
Was that 2018, 2019?
I think so. Something like
It came
that.
out around the time that the
Right.
movie was announced.
I could Google it. But
Which, by the way, watch the fucking movie. Incredible.
Yes.
Definitely
No
this
spoilers.
generation's
Watch the movie. Next movie is going to
I
The
still
old wait,
need
the, first,
to
the
watch
old movie
it.
or the new one?
New one.
The new one.
Old one is
Yeah,
good
I watched
for-
Yeah,
actually quite
Yeah,
good.
old one is good for basically camp memes and some decent acting and some really cheesy acting.
So, for your reference, Zane, the David Lynch one, the 1984, 89.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the whole
It
thing,
has so 20 minutes before the ending. It's where the first movie that Dennis did ended.
Yeah,
So they have the whole last half of the Dune novel compressed into 20 minutes.
yeah. It was supposed to be two. Basically, they were planning on it being two movies, and the studio said, "No, you don't have that much money. Stop it." And they'd already filmed like 3/4 of the first movie.
Well, I mean, that's what they get. They blew all their budget on giving Patrick Stewart that killer mullet. So,
Yeah.
anyway, guys, D&D.
If you insist.
Let's get it.
Tazik, I'm not catching you off guard this time when I say last time on D&D.
Last time on Let's Throw Dice, Quint congratulated Morgan on her epic save of Rosie as she put away her sword and they surveyed the decks. Quint and Eldon began to gather the bodies of the Pterodons, as Quint told Eldon he was very impressed with his performance in the battle. Tazik went over to Ratline and asked Stitchman if he needed help with the rigger. Stitchman said, "Yes, I think you have a friend who can help. I know this." And Tazik said we need to get him below decks, so Stitchman very carefully brought Ratline below into the depths. Morgan went over to Rosie to get some sense out of her, but she was blathering and incoherent, so Spook came over and said he could help. So Morgan said, "Sure, whatever you can do," and Spook just smacked her and shouted at her, and then she shouted back and started berating him, and he squeaked and then ran away. Morgan grabbed him and said, "You don't do that. That's not the way." And Spook said, "It worked, didn't it?" And Rosie came to her senses and thanked Morgan for saving her and told her that she had a certain set of skills, should she be in need of it, of locating things and stuff. Tazik and Stitchman brought Ratline to Quint, but he was in the middle of the hold, and Quint said, "Bring him over here." So they brought him into the back corner, and Quint gave Ratline a bit of a healing with his particular brand of magic. Ratline basically woke up, went, "Huh, thanks," and buggered off to the crow's nest. Stitchman stared at Quint very quizzically as he processed how exactly he healed Ratline. And Quint said something along the lines of, "Don't worry about it." Stitchman was somewhat mollified by this and went back to his duties above decks. And, Tazik and Quint complimented each other by Tazik saying that Quint is a phenomenal healer, and Quint saying that Tazik is terrifying and he's glad he's on his side. Then Tazik got some materials from Grok as she suffered from her hangover and asked him to go away because he's making way too much noise. Then he headed off to the villages to gather iron, wood, and some other things and began to start working on the cannons. Quint attempted to alleviate Grok's suffering, but Hair of the Dog seemed to be not what she was intending this day, and went back to the galley to work on the evening meal. Morgan met with Ratline above decks as the rigger returned to the crow's nest. She spoke with him and got the feeling that he's in a rough place and not really enjoying life right now. Morgan noticed that there was still a pterodon on deck, and Sly was going to town on it by stabbing it. So she went over to, and even Shortstone was like significantly avoiding her, even though he was swabbing in the area. Morgan noticed that the dagger that Sly carried had strange script flowing all over it. And she seemed to have a little bit of a control issue with the dagger, maybe having a little bit of control over her, as Morgan tried to confront her, and she just basically stabbed at Morgan, and Morgan just backed away and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And then Sly hissed at Morgan to leave and then went back to stabbing the pterodon. And then the afternoon faded onto evening as Eldon served the ship's food. Quint brought the captain his meal. Harrigan took a moment to talk to Quint and told him that he may need his skill, as he knows but he knows that Quint wants to escape. Quint said that he does want to escape because his freedom was stolen from him, but he respects the captain and his terror-playing presence, I think it was. The captain said he shared a secret with him, so he'll share a secret, and that there's a spy aboard the vessel. Quint leaves the captain's cabin, overwhelmed in rage as he gathers the plates from yesterday and leaves. Morgan descends the mast after having enough of Ratline's laziness to find Scourge trying to push the giant pterodon overboard. She came over and politely asked if she could do it, and he said, "Oh, fine, whatever," and she just basically one-hands it over the deck and emasculates him once more. And and he turned away in sadness and shame and told her to leave the top deck. Eldon gambled below decks with the crew. Ratline wasn't there. Sorry.
Oh. Hello? Whoa.
Tazik got
And that's our recap.
pulled. I think that's pretty
That's
much
pretty much the recap, yeah.
Sorry, I had to stop a phone from ringing.
Oh, no worries.
Ah,
Yeah, it's the only thing that happened. Eldon gambled with Tan Tate and the rest of the crew below decks and managed to gather a rather significant amount of silvers. Tazik was strangely present amongst the partying as he felt a little bit more connected with the crew, and he laughed at Eldon winning the pot. But he also ended up feeding Owlbear because nobody had fed the captain's pet that day. And Quint went to go to bed, but before he did, he warned Eldon to mind his words around Grok, because he feared she was the spy. And then we faded into the darkness of night and sleep.
Now, that's a great recap. Love it. Definitely helps me personally because like my notes are like when I remember to write them are like 3 words. Question,
Sexy
yeah,
goblin?
right? Sexy goblin? Question mark. Don't worry.
Eldon Turtles.
Eldon
Yeah.
Turtles boink.
yep.
Don't worry, guys. Boink means triple crit. Yeah. All right. So good. You guys do find yourselves in the morning. Morgan, can I ask you to do a favor? To do something for me though. I'm just going to
Yep.
start today for you specifically. Can you make a fortitude save?
Yep.
Thank you for making that fortitude save for me. I appreciate it. And now, can the rest of you make a fortitude save for me?
I mean, I can try.
Wait a minute. Hold up just a minute. This isn't what we signed up for. I have concerns.
Tazik.
Tazik has
oh no.
So I
concerns.
can try.
I also have concerns.
Yes.
Hey, you, boy,
I mean,
you boys want to stimulate the economy?
I'm out. I'm broke.
Ruh-roh.
I had to burn it on my gambling last week.
I mean, I've got 1, but at this point, if Eldon's going to fail, I might as well fail with him.
All right. I'm just gonna take a quick note here, and yeah, we'll leave it at that for now.
No good. Very bad day round 2. I feel it already.
Mercury's coming into retrograde, boys.
All right. Well, the ship,
At least our healer probably made it.
the healer with a 12. That's a bold assumption.
Yep.
That's why I said probably.
I had
I don't even think I
I had
made
one
it.
more
Let's
usage
be
of
honest.
halfling luck, but rather raw dog this.
15's decent. You may have made
I
it,
love that we
but
raw dog the important rolls and then just go wild
Yeah.
on the small stuff.
Yes,
Man, cooking checks
I
are way more
want
important.
to want to burn a hero point to intimidate the chicken. The chicken is unfazed. I'd like to burn 2 hero points.
No. No.
Yeah.
Chicken's not worthy of a hero point. All my hero points are for bamboozling people.
All right,
Might have bamboozled the chicken if it's the spy.
guys.
Listen,
Ooh. Oh, you know what? I guess Spook should also make one of these rolls, actually. So
uh-oh. That's probably more concerning.
okay.
Oops.
He is a
Okay.
literal child.
Okay. All right. Anyway, the ship's yours.
Spook is actually 27. He's just
He's
really underfed.
He's
Which is so good for your
he's
fortitude.
a special species of dwarf halfling.
That's right.
Yep.
He's real hardy. This one.
Oh boy.
We had some like gambling going on last night, so I think Quint would have definitely partake before going to bed. So he's not looking as fatigued as he does some days this morning.
Would you? You know, what? I'm gonna let you roll a bluff check to see what your winnings were.
Sure.
Yeah, roll high. You might have some winnings, but But Eldon pretty handily cleaned up house.
It's a natty 2 for 7.
All right, buddy. You didn't get much by way of winnings. You won a copper, you lost a copper. Hey, net 0 though. That's still better than most. Eldon, as you pass Owlbear, he actually reaches out for you.
Owlbear, what's
And,
up?
he's doing his classic. He's beating his chest, pointing at his mouth.
All right, I'll go find one of the barrels of crab, grab a handful, and kind of just
All right.
toss it at him.
All right, he takes it in hand and takes it off the floor, whatever, however he ends up, and he happily eats it away, and he gives you a big old thumbs up. And as you turn to walk away, you feel a shell hit the back of your head.
Turn around, kind of give him a very confused look. It's like,
He beats his chest and points at his mouth.
yeah, all right. I'll go grab another 2 handfuls. Just kind of drop those at his feet and go, eh?
He grunts appreciatively and just starts to eat his newfound feast. He smiles at you, and through his 3 yellowed teeth, you see the bits of crab and whatnot stuck in his mouth.
Now I'll give him a thumbs up, like questioningly, a thumbs up. Eh? Good.
He just gritty
You
tooth.
good?
Yeah.
All right, turn around and start making my way down the hall.
The mass of the ship collides against your head.
Yeah.
He has throw anything somehow. And a strength of 34.
He just throws an empty barrel.
Just throws an empty barrel at you. Yeah, just full on. Nah, you're good.
Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
Full Donkey Kong
music
Kong.
starts.
All right, and as you approach the galley, the door is strangely open given the last couple days, and you can hear the sounds of, you assume, Croup working away in there. And Grok is at her post, smiling at you as she normally does this morning, feeling considerably better than she did the day before.
Morning, Grok.
She just nods at you.
Step inside. Oh, Master Croup. Up bright and early this
He
morning.
doesn't actually acknowledge you at all. The chicken is standing on his shoulder, and you feel that there is a cloud of dismay surrounding Croup this morning.
Well, since he's not really looking, I'll flip off the chicken and then just start clearing down and doing some morning
The
prep
chicken
stuff.
flips you off.
Hold up.
Just one wing feather.
Yeah, just one feather on the wing.
Guys, I have talons. Come on now.
They've only
3?
got, what,
Exactly.
3?
What, 3. Yeah. Kinda. Yeah,
Kinda.
it'll work. All right, Quint.
Yeah, so Quint kind of stretches. He makes his way towards the galley as well, but as he sees Owlbear, he looks into the bucket and picks 3 choice, juicy crabs, and tosses 2 at his feet, and then holds a third one out for him to pick up.
As you see that Owlbear is already mid-feast, but he greedily grabs
Yep.
the other crabs and reaches for the one that you're offering him as well.
As he takes it, Quint kind of nods and he says, "Good. You need your strength. Keep eating." And he just kind of stops and seems to strangely admire the sight of Owlbear chowing down on these crabs.
No, it is both a you are standing within 5 feet of him, so you are very much in the splash zone. As the sound
Yeah.
of smacks and crunches and his lips and all that, and there's definitely you do notice a goober hit you.
I think Tazik's 20 feet away. I'm pretty sure he's in the splash zone.
Yeah.
Tazik, can you roll another Constitution save for me?
No.
Quint will kind of casually just toss some of the spittle off of his jacket as he kind of reaches out and he says, enjoy the feast with the blessings of my goddess, and casts guidance on
Love to
Owlbear.
see it.
Guidance. That's the one that's a +1 to any
Yeah.
roll, right?
Precisely, yeah. Plus
Plus
one
one
to
to
skill
skill
check.
check. Okay.
Don't
Right.
know if
Well,
it's for
as you're
saving
walking
throws.
away, you feel something hit you in the back of the head.
Quint will kind of like look back.
And Owlbear is sitting there, beating his chest and, of course, pointing at his mouth.
Quint kind of chuckles a little and says, "I like your spirit." And also, guidance is attack roll, saving
Perfect.
throws,
Okay.
and skill checks. Very handy. And he says, "Later, though, we're getting low on food." And he continues down the hall.
As you turn your back on him, you do hear that the chain rattles significantly. And if you glance back at you, you'll see that Owlbear is actually standing up, and like his chain is like fully stretched out as he's sorry, kind of staring you down and like reaching his hand out towards you.
Quint will kind of look back and then just kind of sigh, and he'll march his way back over to Owlbear, and he'll get within like reach of him. What's up?
And he points at his mouth.
Quint kind of chuckles to himself, and he'll grab one more crab and throw it at his
Actually,
and
Quinn, I'm gonna
hand it
give you
to
the
him.
opportunity to roll a perception for me.
Yeah, you got it. Because it always takes me so long to roll these dice because of how big they are. I've been practicing rolling dice, so hopefully I find my dice quicker. There we go. Oh, not bad.
All right.
That's a 10.
Standing
Honest 10.
standing within arm's reach of him, and him stretched out and looking down on you, and you looking up at him, as he's pointing at his mouth, you notice something that's a little peculiar. There's a little more red to that pink and yellow.
I'd like to take a closer look and perhaps
Sure,
do like
sure,
a
let's
heal
see.
check. Yeah. Hold on, friend. What you got going on in here? As he peers up close.
Ooh.
It's a natty 20
All right, with your
for
23
23.
heal, you do quickly notice that poor Owlbear has one too many teeth than what he normally does, and what you initially mistook for a tooth was actually a piece of shell or something that is stuck in his gums and bleeding profusely.
Quint notices that, and he kind of looks up at Owlbear's eyes, and he says, "Ooh, that looks painful. You're eating up a storm otherwise, but he kind of looks at those oversized teeth, and he kind of shakes his head, and he says, "Now, Owlbear, I would love to help you out here, but I got a bad feeling about putting my hands in your mouth." And then Quint is gonna kind of mime. He's gonna pantomime. He opens his own mouth and he kind of puts it wide, and he points at Owlbear and he says, "Open your mouth for me, nice and wide."
And he opens his mouth for you.
All right. And Quint just shakes his head and he says, "If you bite me, well, we're gonna have words." And then he puts his tiny grubby hand into his mouth and attempts to grab hold of what's gouged into his gums.
I'm gonna ask for, I think, sleight of hand for this one. Actually, no. 23 heal check is for actually blind stitches and stuff too. So you're good. You're good. Never mind.
That's fair.
Sleight of hand would be fun, but nah.
Disable device.
Rules is written. You're good with the heal with that 23. So you do definitely reach in there and you do pluck out the bit of crab, and to your surprise, Owlbear screams in pain. You will notice that there is a bit of an exposed nerve that came out with that.
Fun.
Quint kind of looks at the shell, kind of looks at it closely, almost admires it. And he says, "Well, you're a tough son of a bitch." And then he kind of slips the shell with the exposed nerve into his pocket, and then he kind of assesses Owlbear. It looks like he's in a lot of pain,
tremendous amount
right?
of pain.
Yeah, all right. He says, slow down. I don't want you making a big ruckus. I'm going to get in trouble.
Oh, you know what?
Hold
Actually, I
on."
forgot you cast guidance on here. So let's see what happens here with this fortitude save. Maybe he's being a champion. No, he's being a baby.
Says, quiet down. You're gonna get me in trouble. Hold on, one sec. And then Quint kind of looks at the barrel of crabs, and you can see this kind of strange look on his face, and he says, well, you work with what you got. And he picks up a crab, and he looks closer at it, and then he shakes his head, and he's like, give me a few seconds, and he runs to the galley.
As you run off, Owlbear screams after you, and
Yep. Yeah, one sec, Owlbear. Sorry, guys, one moment. Oh, good to see you up and at him. And then Quint is just gonna grab like a fucking apple and just swipe it and then run out of the room. And as he's running, he's gonna start shoving that apple in his mouth.
attaboy.
All right. So then he, like, in just a few seconds it took, he runs back and feeling slightly more sated. He will cast Cure Light Wounds upon Owlbear in an attempt to quiet him down a little bit.
Excellent.
There you go.
Perfect. And as you cast Cure Light Wounds on him for the 7 healing. Perfect.
7
All right,
healing.
for 7 health. Owlbear, you see that wound on his gums close, and you actually also see that the reddening around the shackle on his neck lessens a little bit, and the skin looks a bit healthier. Tam is standing there, who's trying to see what was going wrong with the pet owlbear. He looks at you and says, "What? Witchcraft."
Witchcraft. And at that kind of Quint looks over at Tam and says, witchcraft? You can't go spouting witchcraft on a vessel like this. No. I just got a special connection with Owlbear here. I got the common touch. And I'm going to try to, gaslight
Yeah, that'll be a bluff.
Tam.
I mean, how many wives does he have?
Again, guys, his intelligence is the result of a typo.
Oh, man. It's a 21.
Excellent. Unfortunately for you, sense motive is wisdom based.
Yeah. And he's got a 45 of it in wisdom.
It's true.
We're going
Yeah.
to take a one. We're going to
should
take them all.
I should have preloaded my dice. God damn, get all those bad rolls out of here. He believes you. And he goes, right, of course, yes. The bonds between man and pet are very strong, yes, and not like me and my wives. And he shuffles back and hops into the big pen.
Yeah. Quint kind of just shakes his head a little bit and kind of shrugs his shoulders. Then he looks up at Owlbear, and he did this on the first day, but he's gonna then kind of reassess his whole shackle situation and just kind of get a good idea of how it's secured.
So the shackle around his neck is made of an unfamiliar looking metal. At least it ain't the iron, but you look next to where it's mounted to the pole, the mast, and pretty much the shackle itself and the chain leading up to the mount is made of the same shiny metal, but the actual bit attached to the mast is just a rusted piece of iron.
Okay. Quint takes note of how rusty the load-bearing part is, and just kind of takes a mental note of it. He kind of looks over to Owlbear and says, well, enjoy those crabs. Hopefully you can eat them a little
I
better.
will mention, because this did happen previously, and I don't actually think I specified, but one owlbear was released to help with the feast. Was that 2 nights ago now? 3 nights ago? The chain and shackle around his neck were still very much attached to his body. It was actually the rusted clasp that was attached to the post, to the mast rather, that was released. So,
Gotcha. Okay. So, talking out loud, Quintus thinks that if we had to brute force something, we'd try to break that part. So Quint kind of assesses Owlbear, hopefully sees that he's not in as much pain, and he says, I got places to be, Owlbear. Enjoy your crabs. And he's going to start heading
All
towards
right,
the
perfect.
galley.
I'm going to actually leave you standing right outside the door.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain green woman who is looking at you. But I'm gonna check in on Tazik, see how he's doing.
Tazik is going to start working on the cannons again now that he's got more supplies and more
Perfect.
more bits and bobs. He's going to bring over Kipper and say, "All right, Kipper, we get to work early today. We get these cannons done and ship shape, then we'll have one less thing to worry about if we get caught up by a jealous ship again."
And Kipper actually salutes you, and you see a bit of respect in his eyes. He says, "Aye, Sergeant Gunnery," and begins working away. And they do take a moment to stop, and they ask you about where you learned the firearm.
A while ago in a place far away where some it was an island off the coast of Cheliax and a few other places. Won't specify which island just in case other ears hear, but an old soldier taught me how to shoot and taught me how to take care of weapons, and really there's not much difference between a musket and a cannon if you really look at it.
She laughs at that and says, "Yeah, no, I suppose that's true, isn't it?" And they just kind of get back to work, still polishing, and you see there's rhythm to the work, but you do notice something that's different between you being in charge and Crine being in charge is that Kipper is enjoying the work. So yeah, was there anything else you wanted to accomplish, or you just polishing your guns?
I think I'm actually going to call over to Tam Tate. Say, "Hey, Tate, come over here."
Right, sir. Yes, Captain Rat. And he walks over.
How much do you know about firearms?
They work by Besmara's magic.
Close enough. All right. Today I'm going to show you how to stack the cannonballs. As if we're in a fight to the end of it, I might need some extra muscle, and I think you're looking strong and healthy today. So
He flexes for you and says, "Yeah, finest dwarven patty there is."
and I start explaining to him how to stack Besmara's magic balls so that the the shooty go bang bang can do its thing.
You touch these guns just right, and they make a big noise.
I mean,
It's true.
You could create some kind of Rube Goldberg machine to reload every single cannon on the ship at the same time.
Hey, don't give away my plans.
Do you have knowledge engineering?
Yes.
Of course you do. Do you have knowledge Rube Goldberg machine?
Yes. I have
I think
them
that's
all.
a sub skill, honestly. It's the same
Yeah.
skill.
I think that's knowledge dungeoneering, actually.
Do you have profession Scooby-Doo mystery?
No, but I've got profession Wile E. Coyote.
Okay, he's done. Your ship's done. Wile E. Coyote, you're done. The more you succeed, the more damage you do to your own ship.
I mean, I'm okay with that on the ship we're on right
Tracks.
now.
I'm still shocked you guys haven't just loaded all the gunpowder into like the back of the ship and blown a hole in it.
That was exactly Tazik's plan if the rats had died.
But then we got to swim.
It's all right. It's not like any of you have
I
a
can take 10 on swim checks.
natural swim speed or anything.
I can take 10 on swim checks. I'm good for a while.
See, he's good. The Portuguese water rat is all set, guys.
You can say that. I can't say that. I don't think that's PC.
Eldon's just gonna be saluting and sinking.
You can't mix lightning and water, guys.
Oh, you can. It's just not recommended.
As soon as Eldon hits the water, everybody around him dies.
Rip.
Maybe in the future plans. Don't worry about it.
Dude, I can't wait until you guys get to the water temple. No spoilers.
Oh boy.
No.
We can just save scum it.
Can we just post
Utility.
Eldon
That's-
outside at that
that's-
point?
Yeah, that's the Eldon only uses utility spells today.
No, that's the we stand above the, like, we have a raft above the
Yeah.
water, and you literally zap and kill everything in the temple, and we get all of the XP in one go.
That's where you just lower Eldon into the water and just zap the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Just need to make sure we're wearing rubber boots. All
Yeah,
of us.
was it The Simpsons when they go fishing and they just lower the mosquito trap in the water?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zzz.
Story checked
Oh,
out.
facts. Okay. All right. Well, Tam is happy to learn, and because he has 6 intelligence, I'm half tempted to be like, roll handle animal, but he
Okay.
can understand. But he can understand English, so you're good.
I mean, if you want me to roll like knowledge and engineering just to see if he actually picks anything up, I'm happy for
Yeah,
that.
sure. Let's try that. I like that. Gotcha. Tam get tutored here, and his intelligence point goes up 1.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Oh, that was that roll.
Ooh.
Choo.
Okay, so you know they say those who can't teach, and well, clearly you can, so you can't teach.
Yeah. Like I said, magic boom boom rocks go here.
And he says, "Magic boom boom rocks go here."
Yeah.
This is your friendly party reminder. You can always take 10 on knowledge if you're not.
This is
combat.
true. Shut up. That would have increased it by like,
It would have been a 19.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, an 18.
Folks, he rolled
Or
a
an
natty 1 for a 9.
Or an 18. Yeah.
I mean, 9's still not awful for a check.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Pretty great.
It's just like, listen, you're a great teacher. It's just that Tam is a terrible student.
Yeah.
He thinks
Yeah.
that the ship is floating by Besmara's grace and nothing else. All right, so I guess you're going to be spending your morning teaching and probably
Teaching and
afternoon
working.
and probably evening and
I'd probably just teach Tam in the morning because I know what futility is.
all right. Well, Morgan, what are you up to?
So Morgan is, as per her usual morning routine, going to make sure that Spook is up and ready for work.
Spook is not up or ready for work. He's actually, from what little you've seen of him in the last 3 days, his morning routine is actually completely disturbed as he's still wrapped up in blankets.
So she's going to approach him, and she'll probably have still the torch from a while back, and she'll kind of use like the back end of it to kind of poke him. And just be like, "Oi, lad!"
Not
You awake?
much happens, but you do see that the blanket is trembling.
She's gonna kind of get down at eye level and be like, "Oi, lad, you in there?"
It's just there's a shaking, and at your more more of your prodding, you do hear a whimper.
Morgan's still gonna keep her distance, and she's actually gonna use the torch to kind of lift the blanket up to see what's
Is the
going
torch
on.
lit?
No.
I
It's,
light Spook on fire.
Late for
I
work.
didn't
Yes,
say it was fire.
Morgan's just really nervous about stuff now and lights everything on fire.
Late for work. Oh, to the pyre with you.
Right to jail. Right to the pyre. Listen, pyres
Oh,
and
no.
pirate ships are known to go really well together. Man, that's it.
Why do you think I pick
Oh,
lightning
guys,
instead of fire?
pyres and pirate
I
ships.
mean- I mean, I kind of went all fire damage.
The pirate ship.
Ship. Oh shit. Don't worry, that you guys will run into that one later.
Oh boy.
Special treated wood. It's all
It's
all
like
treated. It's not gonna.
It's like that one ship. I forget what it's called in Age of Empires, but basically it just
Oh, yeah.
lights
Oh,
everything
yeah.
on fire from the front.
Yeah,
fire, straight up
yeah,
fire.
Yeah, fire ships are fire
it could be.
galleons.
Yeah, I thought they had some fancy.
Yeah,
Fire Galleon. I
Galleons.
think is
Damn,
what it is.
excuse me while I just put Age of Empires
Um,
2 installing. Just a moment.
Do it.
Except for the fact that I'm streaming right now. If I do anything that would mess with my download speed, it would probably just like screw the whole stream. So I did read
is
this
very
nifty trick online too, where it was like when you're streaming, run OBS as administrator, and holy shit, guys, what was like so before it'd be OBS would be like 20% of my computer's bandwidth. to when I finally got my RAM fixed to about 12 to 15%. Now it's 7.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
damn. Great tip.
Damn,
Great tip.
son.
Do recommend. But yeah, no, you guys. Okay, so Morgan, you're trying to like lift the blanket, or you just poking him?
No, she is trying to lift the blanket
All right,
carefully.
and as you're lifting the blanket, you're greeted with a pretty sad sight, to be honest. Spook's eyes are just red, and his face is swollen and puffy, and you can tell that this boy's been under some extreme emotional duress.
What ails you?
He doesn't really respond. He actually can't even like really look. He can't even like look at you in the face, let alone your eyes, as he just like tries to put the blanket back over his eyes, back over him.
Morgan grabs the blanket and prevents him from pulling it down, and is like, "What's wrong?"
And you see him struggle to get words out. No,
Slowly.
nothing, ma'am. And he gets up and says, ship right, ready for work. And he just like begins to like run off without even like looking at you.
As he's getting to the door, Morgan's just gonna kind of still stand with her back turned to him and be like, "Lad?"
You hear the scrambling stop as he sits in place.
She's gonna turn on her heel to face him then, and she's gonna maintain sort of a serious face, but there's still an edge of kind of caring there. And she's gonna approach him again.
Mm-hmm.
What
He
happened?
turns to look at you, and again, he can't like even greet you, and he says, "Nothing, ma'am. Just the dreams."
It ain't nothing. What dreams?
Of last week.
Ah,
And he kind of lets that hang in the air for a second before he says, "Can I just go to work?"
aye, lad, off
Thank
you
you,
go.
ma'am. And he runs off. Whoop.
Keep highlighting my token by
That
accident.
happens. And as you're leaving the room, you do see a kind of hilarious sight of Tazik trying to teach Tam how to work a cannon.
Morgan is gonna stand at a distance and just kind of watch this really bizarre sight. As her few conversations she's had with Tam just were nowhere near the intelligence level of many a drunken sailor she's had conversations with before.
And Tam he's listening intently as Tazik tries for probably the 4th or 5th time to explain how gunpowder is made. And then he stops and says, "Yes, so Basmara." And Tazik is just, I like to imagine his face just kind of droops, and you see a little bit of his soul leave his eyes there.
Long as he stacks cannonballs, I don't care.
Now, where's the brass monkey? You can't stack cannonballs without the brass monkey. Yeah, so I mean, for actual like real world lore here, a monkey is what was used to keep the balls from rolling around, and the term freeze the balls off a brass monkey is because brass doesn't rust, so it wouldn't fuse with the cannonballs. And so, but when it got cold, the brass would shrink more than iron does, and then the balls would fall off the brass monkey. So that's where the term freeze the balls off a brass monkey comes from. Because, yeah, that one sounded, I was like, oh, that's got to be some like hilarious story of like something. And no, it's just like straight up cannonballs, man.
That's what the
That's
pirates
right.
want you to think.
That's right. I drank the pirate
Yes.
Kool-Aid.
Yes, no, it was a real monkey. There's historical reasons. This wasn't a
Of
drunken
course, I've seen
thing.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, there are monkeys on pirate ships. Are they immortal?
Precisely. Their name is also Jack.
Not Jack, like, but it's also Jack. Like, also is his first name.
Yes.
All right. Well, Morgan, it's a pretty sad sight in front of you, but Tazak is showing Tam how to properly stack balls, and Tam can at least understand that much.
All right. Morgan's just kind of make eye contact briefly with Tazak, just like, yep, I feel ya, before she heads above deck to her duties.
All right, and up deck you go. Assuming I can move your character token. There we go. All right, and when you get up deck, there is something terrifying waiting for you. A very angry Officer Crine. And that's where we'll leave you for a bit.
Okay.
Quintus.
Yeah, Quintus is making his way down the hall, aiming towards the
All right,
galley.
and Grok does kind of give you a wave, and she thanks you for taking care of her yesterday during her hangover.
Quintal change his course slightly and kind of stop outside of the door, and he says, "Grok, your scars are looking particularly badass this morning. Good to see you. You look a little more lively today."
Feeling a little more alive.
I'm glad to hear it. Do you have a chance to dip into that chillaxing
And
brandy
she
yet?
shows you the empty cup and says, "Would you like this back?"
No, you can keep it. I'll see if I can find something else we can share later.
My.
Yeah. No guarantees. I'm afraid this vessel's getting a little thin on resources. Hopefully we can make it to port sometime soon.
She leans down and says, "Between you and me, we're in some very populated waters."
See Quint's expression kind of change as almost positively, and he says, "Well, we might just run into some fortune soon then."
Fortune for us. And she smiles.
All right, well, in theory, got to start cooking, but honestly, I think Eldon has it today. I'll see if I can maybe maneuver myself for some fishing. I've spent the last few days below deck. I need some sun.
You are looking decidedly pale.
Yeah, I got a bit of a pallid complexion, I know. That's all right. I suppose you probably got to stay in your chamber, but, if you find yourself above deck, feel free to find me. I wouldn't mind spending a little more time in the sun.
Given our current location, I may need to be above deck preparing the crew. As she gestures, or she actually holds up the axe that she's polishing.
Excellent. On that note, actually, Grok, I gotta admit, I'm getting a little low on some of my personal supplies, and if we're running into any more action, it would probably be handy to have some of my goods. Now, no rush, but if you find yourself coming across a very patchwork pouch that seems to have a bunch of dried goods in it, if you could find it in your heart to perhaps extend it in my direction, I would appreciate it.
And she stops to consider for a bit and says, "I will see what I can do."
Like I said, no
actually,
rush,
you know what?
but
Oh my God, Quintus. I almost called you Queum, and then
that was pretty cool.
yeah, and then Queen, and then Ian, and then all right,
Yep.
Quint.
Queen is
Quintus
Quint's middle
Queen.
name, so it works great.
Quintus Queen.
Cook. Yeah,
Is that
Quintus
Cook
Queen
with a Q?
Cook.
You
Yes.
headcanon. Can you roll diplomacy for me? For you, this is probably a knockout of the park, but
Well, we'll see. I will be using my adaptable luck for this.
and burning 4 hero points.
Yes, precisely. And I will use 2 hero points to move myself up in initiative. Okay, diplomacy. It's a natty 6 for a 17.
God damn.
Not bad.
Woo!
Love to see it. Yo, your
Charisma
natty 6 for a
casters.
17 is enough to convince her to acquire a pouch that she may or may not have seen for you.
Thank you. Mechanically speaking, it is a spell component pouch with a few extra components.
It's tobacco. And how do I
I
put
too
this
have one of
delicately?
those.
Colombian whites.
Yes.
I don't think that's PC, bro.
Or Mexican black tar heroin on the show.
Ooh, okay, almost got me demonetized there. Oh, I had.
Wait a minute. Is pulling cards from Cards Against Humanity a surefire way to get demonetized? I gotta change my entire tactic.
Oh, okay. Can I just say, I think playing with a deck of many things, but it's actually Cards Against Humanity, would be amazing.
The ultimate quest hook generator.
Oh yeah. Listen,
that's
listen.
beautiful.
I
If-
pull out the biggest blacket. I'm not gonna finish that.
No, don't finish that
Yep.
one. The biggest, blackest, sun spear.
Look
Yeah.
at the size of that rooster.
Stop.
Oh.
Keep it under control. You're on camera, Dio. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, Quint looks at Grok and says, my sincerest thanks. And if all things go to plan, I'll probably be back for a fishing rod, but we'll see.
Of course. And she winks at you, and she does take a few seconds to find a fishing rod for you.
Thank you. And you know what? Yeah, Quint will actually take that fishing rod and say, this'll make my case a lot
she
easier.
winks at you.
And then he stride. Yeah. Yeah, he'll return the wink and then stride into the galley.
All right. Well, as soon as you step into the galley, you immediately sense an air of despair surrounding the ship's traditional cook, historic cook, I'll say.
Mm.
And he doesn't even acknowledge you. The chicken is, of course, staring daggers at you.
Quint nods at the chicken, says, dinner. And then he looks over to Croup and says, fish guts, good to see you up and at 'em. If you don't mind me asking, what's the occasion?
He looks at you and very soberly, actually. There isn't, to your entire shock, there isn't a hint of liquor on this man. As he says, some little bastard took my job. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
I got some inklings, but you'll just have to jog my memory, I'm afraid.
And Croup, you see him tense up, closes his eyes, and he throws a fist.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Quint's, he's not gonna defend himself. He's gonna take the punch.
All right. You take 2 non-lethal damage.
Okay. All right. He kind of spits a bit of blood on the ground. Looks up at him, says, "You feeling a little better now? Let's talk. Good to see you up and at 'em. You're functional. It's a good sign. What changed? I suppose you may have... Well, you know what? I'm getting a little heated. Give me a few seconds here." And Quint will kind of take a step to the
And swing a
side,
punch at him.
and he says, "Yeah, right." Draw his dagger, and he looks at Fish Guts and he says, "I like this change. You being up and at 'em, that's good. I'm sorry it had to be from, well, a demotion, I suppose. But with all due respect, Croup, that wasn't my doing." And he's gonna like look him in the eye.
Oh, you see, Croup is like, if looks could kill. I mean, command word kill exists, but you know.
That's a word.
And before he has a chance to kind of throw another punch, Quint's gonna look around under the table and he says, you know what, Croup, I used to have a drink under here. I was kind of saving it for a special occasion, but that's fine." And he looks over at Fish Guts and he says, "I wasn't lying when I said I like seeing you functional. That's good. Hopefully a shock to the system will do you good. But,
At the word shock, Eldon kind of pauses and his ears perk up for a split second. He's like,
yeah.
I cast
About
chain
10
link.
minutes, kind of keeps doing what he's doing.
Call storm.
Now, I understand that in the state that you're currently in, this might not sound the best, but it is very safe to say that alcohol is one of life's sweetest pleasures. And Croup, you indulged to the point where you managed to squeeze every iota of pleasure out of drinking until it wasn't even living anymore. So, happy to see you up and at 'em. I hope that, well, if you're a little more functional on board, that it's not going to lead to any
He
more
punches you again.
demotions. Yeah, that's fair. As he punches me again, this time he will try to
All right.
defend himself.
All right. So since you're not accepting
Yeah.
it, I'm going to roll. This is not. But does a 12 hit you? All right. You managed
does
to duck
not.
the punch, and that just seems to fuel his fury even further.
At the second punch, Eldon will kind of spin around and go, "All right, knock it off." And like you can see in one hand he's got his cutting knife, and his other hand you can see some sparks jumping between his fingers. He's like, "All right, knock it off, both of you."
Chicken
We
goes
got work
flying
to
at
do.
you. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Give me a chance, buddy. Give me an opportunity. I
100%.
swear to God.
Fried
wants to
chicken
fuck
tonight,
around and find
boys.
out. It will find. Yeah, chicken wants to fuck around. It will find out. I tell you
Tell you that
that.
right the fuck now.
Guarantee it. I
20th
stand
level
by it.
So
polymorphed
we
wizard.
find out it's a polymorph red dragon.
Hey,
One of us is fucking around. One of us is
Quick
finding
like-
out.
yeah. Say less.
The ship explodes into a red dragon. What?
Everybody roll new characters. New campaign. Let's go.
Welcome to the Jestal. No, no, God.
I mean,
Not like this.
Quint kind of like takes a heavy breath. He says, "All right, that's good." And then he kind of looks to Croup and he says, "We could have more words later. We can maybe throw some hands, and that's fine with me. But I'm getting really tired of leaving things unsaid. And, well," and then he shakes his head and he says, "I'm going to leave it at this." And he raises his fishing rod and he says, "Well, the feast, we're getting real low on supplies, so I'm going to go see if I can get us some protein. Eldon, you got dinner prep, right?"
Yep, no problem.
Dinner looks
Perfect.
around
Didn't-
panicked.
Croup, you... Yes. And Croup, you are a cook. If you cook, take pleasure in it, whatever you got to do. But you're living life again, so you got that going for you. Try to find the pleasure in it. God damn it. And yeah, and he just seems weirdly heated. And he says, "All right, I'm leaving. Croup, I don't hate you, but bye."
I don't hate you, but
Leaves.
you're a little bitch sometimes. Yeah, Croup doesn't say anything
don't
as you
hate you. I'm
go,
just very disappointed.
but you see him. Eldon, you see him, I should say, quite gingerly and with a touch of reverence, actually, hang his disgusting, smelly, gross apron on a hook on the wall, and places his hat upon it, revealing, for the first time, the incredible bald spot that is the top of his head. As he looks a little downtrodden and exits the kitchen.
Oh boy.
As Quint is leaving, he kind of looks back and he says, like he's about to say something, and he stops himself. He's like, "Nope, you're too heated. Let's go."
Yeah. Chicken actually jumps off Creep's shoulders too as he's leaving, and hangs around in the galley.
Just take the knife. I look right at the chicken, make eye contact, point the knife at it, and says, "Don't fuck around. I got a lot to do today.
The chicken,
You're welcome to stay, but
the
don't
chicken
screw
like
around."
tilts his head a bit, and he looks at you, and he nods.
Knowledge Arcana.
Yeah, sure. Knowledge Arcana. Why not?
The chicken remembers.
Chicken remembers all, man. This chicken needs a token. Hold on.
You do need to give this chicken a
15.
token
This chicken
and a character sheet.
15 of 15. There is nothing that while intelligent animals do exist, there's nothing that shows much indication of this chicken being exceptionally intelligent, but it does seem to have a grasp of the common tongue that is uncommon among his peers. Her peers? Can't remember. Did we say chicken was a rooster or a hen?
I think you said dinner. Well, dinner's a hen. I think. I think they're all hens.
Dinner's a hen.
Because roosters are kind of
Yeah,
worthless
true. Facts.
on a ship.
They're really good at waking up the crew, which is exactly what you want on a ship of drunk, angry pirates.
Yeah, that rooster be around for about a day.
All right.
Someone
No,
just shoot it.
I hope Midjourney can do chickens better than it can do not dinosaurs. Not
Not
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs. And I was gonna say, as Croup and Quint kind of had their little scuffle, and were both making their way out of the galley, kind of watching them go, Eldon would kind of glance over and see if I could gauge Grog's response to the whole ordeal.
Grox doesn't actually pay much attention to it. She is just busy working, actually. You look in and she's got some, you can tell on the table behind her, she's got some axes laid out and she's working on polishing them and getting them sharpened.
From where I am, if I kind of glance into the room, is there like high shelves that I can kind of see, or is it just like a table and then there's just like piles of stuff along the floor?
It's she does have shelves, but she after being on this ship for, I'm sorry, I asked Midjourney to do an intelligent chicken, and it's given me just like 4 different chickens with glasses.
The tracks,
love
honestly.
That's awesome.
That's canon.
That's
canon
that's
now.
why dinner is so angry all the time.
You never noticed before. Dinner has a monocle.
Bagok.
Oh god.
Dinner's the BBEG. Confirmed.
Done. Step aside, Tempest Thorn. It's
Yep.
No, we'll beat Tempest Thorn, and then the Latin music starts, and then dinner comes out of the room.
Second health bar.
at this point you guys have like awakened chicken and like
Oh, I'm thinking dinner is like the last Horcrux or something like that.
Yep.
What level is
Honestly, whenever we're talking about this chicken, I'm just picturing the chickens from Zelda.
freaking fucking
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
So there is actually a way to make something like rules as written. You can get something pretty close to a cuckoo in this game. So, but
That's awesome.
but that's actually to be a pretty high level. It'd have to be a pretty high level encounter for this thing to have the magic required to summon hordes of itself, of its species. But anyway, yeah, you guys are So dinner stays behind. And we'll actually just kind of like walk into like the sacks of grain in the corner and just sits on it. and stares at you, Alden, unblinking. And oh yeah, that's right. You were asking about Cutthroat Grok's room here. So you have been on the ship long enough to see that this stores, to familiarize yourselves with what's on pretty much any shelf, and the shelf that contains the most common weapons of short swords and cutlasses. I guess cutlasses on a pirate ship, and the hand axes have all been taken down, and you do see her occasionally hold up a weapon, check its gleam and edge, and go back to polishing it or sharpening it or whatever.
Okay. I mean, out of curiosity, would I have noticed where she might be keeping my artisan's tools for tattoo work?
Ooh, yes, that would probably be there. I mean, you probably would have seen a glimpse of it here and there. Things are kind of stored rather haphazardly back there, but chances are it's sitting on the shelf. It's sitting on a shelf back there somewhere.
Okay.
She might like you enough to give it to you if you ask nice. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that guy. Just thinking about that thing still being in there.
Yep, and it's not like you guys are leaving the ship anytime soon. Wink.
No.
That'd be
Crazy
weakness.
talk even.
That would be inappropriate conversation.
That's right. Especially around Grok.
Yeah, just kind of take note of that, but I'm kind of solo in the kitchen with dinner, so just going to keep working away for now and wait till one of the other two saunters back eventually, and we'll maybe address that when I've got some free time, but for now I'm kind of getting everything started so it can start simmering all day.
Attaboy. True chef. Master chef over here. All right.
That's more just survival knowledge that everything we have is so tough it needs to simmer for about 8 hours to be palatable.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm so sad canning isn't a thing in this world, because like having to deal with like spoiled potted meat would be hilarious.
I mean,
Just need a Lord Ruler.
Stop.
Where's Purify Food and Water?
Get wrecked.
Purify Food and Water.
I mean, that's probably why canning isn't a thing in Glorian, because at this point in age, they probably would have something like a canning setup. But
Seems like a gnomish
Yeah.
invention.
To be
but
fair,
I mean,
the
purified
gnomes
food
have
and water
like.
just completely.
Ugh. I mean, yeah, honestly, like for long distance too, any ship worth its salt will just have a high level cleric to create food for them.
Yeah, just create food and water,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Not even that high of a level.
Like level, is that second
need-
level spell?
Level 3.
Third?
It's level-
You need a
it's-
fifth. You need
I think it's a third
yeah,
level
you need a
spell.
fifth level cleric.
Or Oracle.
Sixth level.
Who the hell wants an oracle? Imagine playing oracle, guys. Come on.
You know, we could really use as a barbarian.
That's right. That's
Try
right.
Mm.
Now, have you guys considered a rage
Agnes, go
prophet?
dip. Agnes has to dip into barbarian.
Yo, Agnes dips into barbarian. That's it. There's
Let's
nothing I can
go.
throw at you guys. That's gonna like.
Oh,
she
that'd be
can't scare.
hilarious. Be epic.
I was considering it. I was considering it,
table.
but I went
What do you
with
mean
the
this is
thug
a pirate
instead.
ship pilot entirely by oozes? They can't get scared.
They can't get scared. Yeah, and we're gonna come up against some like actually like lawful, neutral, or good privateer ship that's gonna have a pallet on it with aura of fear, or
yep.
whatever it is, the aura of courage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gives them all bonuses to their fear saves.
That's the
Which-
anti-team that comes
which-
against us.
Actually, now that I said that out loud, I don't think that works because
I think that's all it
intimidate
has to do.
isn't a fear, like it's not a saving
No.
throw.
Yeah.
It's just a flat DC.
Yes.
No, I don't
Yeah.
believe so.
But
It's not a
still,
fear effect.
There's it's not technically a fear
Yeah,
effect
it's at-
on paper. I think it's considered a fear effect, but I think it's considered that it's not. It doesn't have a saving throw associated with it. So like I think Aura of Courage just boosts saving throws. I don't think it makes anybody actually. It doesn't have any other effect on it.
That's fair.
But anyway.
All right, Quint, I'm going to
Like-
check in on you in a bit. You said you're going above deck, right? So did you want me to teleport you up there?
That's right.
All right, get you
Sure.
teleported above deck. Tazak, how you doing? Did you want to do anything different?
Tazak is going to leave Tam with Kipper and go above decks to see how how everything's going on up there.
All right, perfect. So
The rest of the crew.
since you're heading above deck, I'm actually going to hop over here and help alleviate Morgan's anxiety as she stares crying in the eyes and say, hey, look at the time. Perfect time for a 15-minute break. I'm joking. So, Morgan, crying is standing there, arms crossed. Quint, actually, as you come up the stairs, you would actually see this scene kind of unfolding in front of you.
Quint will observe and try not to be in the way.
Crine looks at Morgan and says, "You know, you can't keep insulting the officers."
My apologies, officer. I don't know what you mean.
And she
And she's actually as honest as possible because, like, she was just a complete oblivious airhead and actually trying to help Scourge the last time.
and
Tiny dagger.
tiny dagger. She gestures over her shoulder to the man piloting the helm. You're
Weeping slowly. into the-
weeping slowly. A single tear falls from his eye.
A single man tier.
Guys, how does like emotional damage show up on a character sheet?
Mental damage. Psychic
It's like
damage.
motion.
Yeah, psychic damage.
Non-lethal psychic damage.
Morgan, roll 4d8.
Every day he's in
It shows up
therapy,
as intelligence damage.
For every 25 emotional damage she does, he gets a negative point of his intelligence and charisma.
Yep.
Because
Oh,
his
boy.
self-confidence just begins to fail. So his charisma just starts plummeting.
Okay, hold on. Ooh, no,
This
not
is getting too real.
not on camera. Ooh. Off camera, I'll tell this joke. Not on camera.
Sounds like it's time for a break.
Yeah.
My mother's a saint!
And so Crine stares at you, Morgan, and says, "We can't have such mutinous behavior go unchecked." She's looking at you.
Morgan's still confused because and then she kind of looks over in Scourge's direction. And then she goes to Crine and says, "What about harassment?"
She actually laughs when you say that. Harassment on a ship. Have you looked around? And she like gestures to like Phipps, who's like fingering his belly button and smelling it.
I'm talking about, I'm sure, the type that you've had to deal with.
And she lets that nod. And see, here's the thing that you don't quite grasp. Barnabas owns you. And as such, as we, his officers, we get to do what we like to you.
Quint quietly grips his dagger,
Oh,
but stays
shit.
out of sight.
This is getting real. Now, I can respect what you're saying, one woman to another. But you can't go intimidating the officers. And she looks at you very sternly.
Point taken, officer.
You understand I need to make an example out of you. Do you want to do this quiet, or do you want to do this loud?
I'd prefer
Get
the
in the
quiet
box.
route. All right. Morgan does exactly as she's told.
All right.
Quint grits his teeth, but he doesn't interfere.
Tazik does similar.
And as Morgan walks, Crine actually looks at you, Quintus. Like she can see you from where she's standing, unless you were like hiding in the shadows. But
Not bad. I'm like partially. I'm almost up on deck. I look over at Crine and I say, "Officer,"
she's
and I let go of my dagger. That is to say, I'm no longer gripping it.
there isn't a problem, is there?
Quint like stares at her for like 3 seconds and then says, "The problem's been resolved, Officer Crine."
Right. And she turns on her heel and walks away. And I guess that, unless you have something to say, sorry.
He just kind of nods to himself and takes a deep breath. And then he looks to the boo box, shakes his head, then grits his teeth and continues above deck.
All right. I dig it. And at 8:32, let's take 10, maybe 15.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
we face the final boss as a team full of gunslingers just to volley
Yeah.
fire and kill it in one single round.
Honestly, like I wouldn't even be mad. That'd be hilarious. You guys would
Yeah.
walk in, shoot once, go home.
Yeah.
Done. Walk out. We're
It's
good.
like a scene out of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
All right.
All right, yeah,
Yep.
be great. That'd be great. I did Shadow Live us again, but again, it was only like 30 seconds ago.
We're back.
All right, so Morgan, you're in the box.
Whoa.
Which means you actually do. You're not like Iru, who could like just live in the box and be okay.
Yeah.
I wish they just called it the box of shame, because that's like what I want to call it all the time.
I mean, you could just call it that. I don't think anyone's gonna complain.
The box of shame, the sweat box.
Yeah.
All right,
The
so
boo box.
Morgan, can you make a? No, I'm gonna come clean, guys. That fortitude save I made you guys all throw earlier. That was a preemptive fortitude save for what's gonna happen here.
Cool.
Morgan.
It's a good way to do it.
Morgan, you rolled a 15 on your fortitude save earlier, and the DC
Yep.
to not take non-lethal damage for being locked in the box is 15.
Woo!
You've
Very
done
nice.
it.
You done it.
You done,
You done
did it.
Morgan's a badass.
Morgan,
Morgan's just sitting in there tanning.
no sun in there, but tannin.
Disgust.
Morgan is intimidating the box, and the box doesn't hurt her.
It's basically just a sauna at this point.
Yeah.
It's just a sauna at this point. She's catching some fresh moisture.
She tries to like make she like anyone who passes by, she asks for them to pour a little bit of water in, just to
The steam,
steam
feels
going.
good.
opening up your pores. You're exfoliating in there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Spa day. Let's go.
Even in his revenge, Scourge fails.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's his brand. So
It's also amazing that Scourge's revenge is getting someone else to talk to the scary
yeah,
woman.
getting someone else to put her in the box.
I'm so glad you guys picked up, because that was like, this is hilarious, because he's getting someone else to do his dirty work. He's scared of her.
Yep. That's a good quality.
That's right,
Delegating
that's right.
tasks.
He's the first officer, and he pissed himself.
To be fair, Crine also did witness her scare, intimidate, and mess with Scourge when she came over to throw the Pteranodon over. So like,
She
Crine
wasn't
witnessed all of that.
intimidating. She was literally
No,
like,
no.
yo.
but it was the disrespect.
Let me just.
see the poor man struggling. She literally came over, balled it up, and Toby'd it over the side of the
I
ship.
got
Like,
this. Boom.
Yeah, Scourge walks into the captain's quarters and you hear a loud bang.
Yeah.
He stubbed his toe. He's fine. He's walking with a limp. Guys, what were you thinking?
I was thinking we were camping.
Somebody call cancel culture. I'm like number 1 on the list.
Ay.
Oh, that's
Oh man, our whole one viewer.
feel like
that's-
we're
I'm
all
still,
pretty
again, is
overdue.
me. Hey, look, I lost a follower.
We're definitely overdue for
Do we
canceling.
lose a
Lose-
follower? No.
Oh no, it's not like I pay attention to that at all. Anyway, I mean, please follow
No,
me.
we're sitting at the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like
Follow
I'm
me in the audience.
I'm just gonna unfollow so I can follow again.
Yep.
All right, Tazik, you're on deck. What are you doing, buddy?
Tazik is going to check in with Quint, and I mean, he was going to check in with Morgan. It's a little harder now, but not impossible. You can check in with Quint and see how he's doing, and discuss with him the.
Yeah. Probably noticed that he's gripping a fishing rod and he started making his way across the deck, but then he catches your eye and kind of stops. Hey, Tazik, officer. Good to see you above deck.
I think I get a lay of the land somehow, and it's hard through the portcullises.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. I spent the last few days pretty much exclusively below deck. I need to get a little bit of sun, feel alive again. And I like fishing. Reminds me of the good old days, though I can't seem to remember them that well.
It either makes some very good old days or very bad ones, in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you know what you're talking about there. Don't suppose you have much experience with fishing?
Not much with fishing. Didn't get onto a ship when I was younger.
Yeah.
Took too long to get onto this one. That fishing isn't something that I'm useful at.
Well, you certainly handle yourself with the air of a practiced seaman. You seem to know what you're doing over here. I approve. I mean, not that you need my approval, but I'm glad you got officer position. You got fucking guts, man.
Not quite as much as Morgan there in the box, but
Quint looks at the box and says, "Yeah, no, she might just single-handedly be the most competent sailor aboard the ship.
you got that right.
Though I gotta admit, I mean, don't spread the word, but Eldon is obnoxiously useful. Like any time I talk about needing anything done, he has a solution. It's remarkable. You know, sometimes there's people that you just like and you don't really know why. That's Eldon.
Fair enough.
Oh, I can think of a few reasons
in
to like
fairness-
him.
He seems pretty lethal when we're fighting anything. He seems to be quite a good hand at taking things down.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about that, huh? And he kind of eyes your musket, which I assume you have slung over.
Especially
your
now that
back.
he's an officer, he will carry that musket bloody everywhere.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it looks like a gorgeous day out today. I'm imagining it's going to be a pretty quiet evening, so I'm just going to get some fishing done. But, I mean, I'll just be over here if you want to chat at all. This will take me an hour or two, I'd
Enjoy
imagine.
your fishing. I might see you later.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then he kind of looks over at the box of doom, kind of shakes his head. He says, "I gotta be honest with you, Tazek. I've been on my best behavior, but something about today, I'm snapping at the tiniest thing, you know? I just need some change.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Well, fishing will cure what ails me, I'm sure."
Enjoy the fishing.
And you can see, as he says it, he has some hollow eyes. Thank you, Tazek.
It's
And yeah, he'll make his way over to a position
an
to
old
fish.
Portuguese saying, and by old Portuguese I mean I read this in a comic somewhere at some point. A bad day of fishing beats a good day of anything else.
Pretty sure that was said in Stargate.
That probably is true. I've never actually seen Stargate.
Oh.
I should actually. Oh no, that's not true. I watched Stargate Atlantis when I was young.
I have memories of in grade school going to the bookmobile and signing out a VHS copy of
That's
Stargate
fantastic.
Atlantis season 2. Yeah, just in there somewhere.
All right. So it is. Oh, I forgot to bring up the newest swab on the ship. Captain Croup. Croup the swab doesn't roll off as Cook Croup fish guts. Anyway, fish guts is swabbing the deck. Actually, Spook should be over here, and Rosie should also be over here. And Quint, since you're fishing, would you care to roll survival? I think would be the most appropriate.
Sure. I could do survival or profession fisherman. Sorry, no, not profession.
Yeah, profession
fisherman,
sailor would work as well. Yeah.
And in proud Quint tradition, he's going to use all of his resources on mundane checks. So he's going to use his halfling luck.
Love to see it.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I think I'm feeling a bite here.
All right, let's see. Woo, 20s.
Oh, net.
All
for a
right,
26.
all right. So, you definitely make the check, and then I've decided now, just now, that so the check is 10. So for every number you beat that's 10, that's how many fish you've caught. And so for the hell of it, I found this random fish generator on the internet. And this is incredible. This one page that just generates a random number of fish for me. In this case, 16 of them. Has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ads. Despite
Yeah, that tracks.
Wow.
Yeah, that tracks for sure.
I caught 17 fish and 3
Oh,
Trojans.
sorry, I can't do 16 because the value must be equal or less than 12.
Close enough.
This is the greatest. So I'm sure some of these are definitely freshwater fish.
They're Ingalarian.
That's
They
right.
live in
All right.
saltwater.
Actually, only one of these
Brinish.
is actually all these are saltwater except for one of them, which is an alligator gar, which you've never actually seen what it looks like. I highly recommend you look up that fish. They are hilarious looking.
Yeah,
They
they're
are
cool.
great.
Seen them in aquariums before.
You got a snapper,
Yeah.
a sea bass, an amberjack, which I've actually had before and is a delicious cut of fish. Let me tell
Also
you.
had snappers and sea bass.
California corbina, which I don't know what a California is, nor do I know what a corbina is, but it looks like a funny fish that's about 20 inches long. You caught a marlin. A blue
You can see
shark.
as like
Uh,
as the fish continue to kind of pile up, Quint is kind of like whistling to himself, and then he kind of starts singing a little shanty under his breath. He's having a good time.
oh yeah.
I imagine he's doing so well. He's like fly fishing and catching.
Yo,
Just a constant
there's a
stream.
video I gotta show you guys of a Brazilian fisherman doing exactly that. It's like a thing where you just this style of fishing. You throw the hook in, you grab it, and you just like whip it back and forth like that, and it's just like 3 out of 5 times there's a fish on the other side of that hook that like unleashes on the upswing and falls into the back of the boat.
Wow.
Wow.
It's so crazy. But yeah, you caught a pretty decent mix. My favorite here is the marlin for sure because that is like one of the most athletic and difficult to catch fish possible. But
Hell
It's,
yeah.
it's bigger than Quint.
it's
by, like, a
considerably
margin.
bigger than Quint.
Probably like a baby marlin.
That's right, baby itty bitty marlin.
Yeah.
He got a fish stick. Also, he got a blue shark is apparently one of them here too, and a giant sea bass, which is another one that, if it isn't like longer than Quint, is probably about 5 times as heavy as Quint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine Quint like lashed himself to the mast like some deep sea fishermen have to do.
Man, you guys ever see River Monsters? Guy
yeah.
tore a muscle off of his arm he spent like 12
Yes.
hours hooked to a giant stingray, and
Damn,
just from like keeping the pressure holding it for so long, his like bicep came off his muscle.
Yeah, he tore his whole
Yeah.
bicep off the bone,
Yeah.
right?
This one's for
God.
Irwin.
Or not even his bicep. I think it was his forearm. He just like completely ripped the muscle.
He's
off
like
the
showing it
bone.
off in
Yum.
interviews. He's got this hole in his arm from where his muscle used to be.
Yeah.
He's like, I just have to live with this now. And the interviewer's like, was it worth it? And he'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Man likes to fish.
Man likes to fish. All right, Quint, you're master fisherman over there. Sandara is very impressed with you. She likes a man who knows how to handle her their rod.
Sandara, I don't suppose you'd be able to lend me a hand. This pile of fish is about 4 times my weight.
There's like 3 fish in the pile.
Yes. This pile of fish, and then he gestures, and there's 4 more piles.
I mean, Kroop's on deck. I think he's the one to ask for help.
Unironically, if Quint catches eyes with Kroop, he will say, like, I'm in a weird mood. Talking's not a good idea.
Just grab a fish and go.
Yeah.
All right.
But I did get dinner. Though I think dinner's also below deck.
We're going to have to find a new name for this fucking bird. I'm prepping dinner.
That would double entendre.
We eating dinner tonight, Bucker?
Mm-hmm.
Poor dinner, man. She's gonna lay an egg out of fear.
Yep.
All right, so Quint, you're master fisherman. Morgan, you're in the box. Tazik, you're babysitting the box.
I'm actually gonna go over and, as I'm an officer now, I'm gonna try to get the name out of this sailor.
His name is Blue Bandana.
I swear he got his name at one point.
Accidentally.
Yeah,
Deal
Deal keeps
leaks his name.
accidentally.
Oh, okay.
We've never officially got it.
You're just gonna walk up to him, look him in the eyes, and say, "Name."
Pretty much. Sailor. Name, rank, and serial number.
He salutes very upsettedly. Cog. Swab. 4.
Right. Good job fighting off the halflings from Jeliax, Gog.
Thank you, sir.
He looks over at the box and goes, keep eyes on that one. She's a dangerous one, and you don't want to mess with her. That box might not be enough to hold her.
Aye, sir. And he salutes. Shall I abandon my post? And he looks at the door to the captain's quarters.
Never abandon your post, sailor. Just keep eyes on the box.
He steps to the side so the mast isn't in the way.
Good thinking. Anyway,
Could you roll perception for me as you turn away?
sure. An 8 for a 14. My rolls are not great these days.
Yeah, no, nothing. You just keep walking.
Yeah.
You don't notice him spit at you as you turn to walk away.
It's okay. I have his name. I don't care.
Finally, everyone,
Yeah.
you feel a sense of accomplishment, and I think that's the names of everyone on the ship. Oh,
Achievement unlocked.
unlocked.
Level up.
Unironically, though, let me just do a quick count here, because I forgot how many NPCs are on this fucking ship. Okay, so what's 20 times 200?
4,000.
4,000. There you go. That's how much experience y'all just got.
Woohoo!
Well,
Gee, that level's up, by the way.
split among.
Oh,
Not
okay.
I was gonna say,
Damn.
I think you just
Not-
leveled
not
up.
each-
That's split between 4 PCs?
Two,
Okay, so that's 1,000
that's
XP. Let's go.
each.
Nice.
What's everyone at? I accidentally deleted my XP last game.
6670
Thank you.
with the 1,000.
Nice.
So you guys should be what, like 400?
2/3
Yeah.
of the way. We're like 2,330.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I forgot you guys are level 3. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
9,000,
9,000.
yep.
Is our next one.
I don't know why my brain was like 2,000. It's always 2,000 to level up.
I wish.
In TUI, it's just 1,000 XP for every level.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a great way to do it, to be honest.
You know, did I guys ever tell you about my favorite leveling system ever? It's a wonderful,
Tell me
wonderful
more.
game called Maple Story. Zane, remember Maple Story?
Mm,
Say
For
less.
like 20 years that this game, or no, probably not 20, like 10, 15 years ish from this game's launch, the level cap was 200. And everyone kept complaining, boost the level cap. And eventually Nexon was like, fine, you want me to boost the fucking level cap? I'll boost the fucking level cap. So it went from 200 to 250. The amount of experience required to get from level 249 to 250 is the same amount of experience that's required to get from level 1 to 249.
that'll
Well, that
do
was
it.
always the meme about RuneScape too. Is 92 plus 92 equals 99.
That's right.
Yeah.
You had to get level 92 twice to get level 99 and something.
Yep.
Them's
Them's
the
the
days.
days. All right. So, Yeah, Morgan, you're in the box. Tazik, you finally got the name, and I've been waiting to give you guys that fucking ding this whole time. Well, not ding, but
Oh, it's the Stardew Valley quest. Meet everyone in town.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked.
it really do be like that.
Uh,
Oh, actually, hold on. Come to think of it, since we're talking experience here. Everyone add, what's 600 divided by 4? 125? 150?
Mm, 125 is right. Let's see.
600
Yeah.
over 4?
150.
What is 150?
Yeah, it is 150, yeah. So add an extra 150 to that.
Nice.
I'm not going to say who, but that's from winning over the affection of some NPCs.
Ah.
In the experience bar, if you type plus and then the number, it'll add it for you.
Oh, God bless.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
Also, I could
I did that wrong last time, and I deleted everything. It was great.
get dummied. Control Z, and my browser shut down.
Same.
All right, so Tazik, are you talking with the group at all? Or are you just standing next to him?
Oh, you're muted.
Ruh-roh.
Oh, sorry. I might touch base with Croup briefly and just ask him how he's doing.
He looks at you and says, "This is the saddest fucking day of my life.
Do you know your way around the cannon?
Can I stand in front of it?"
I mean, that's not the most effective way to fire it, but
I've been commanded by my superior to swab. And he looks at you with like the,
keep at it. Fortunes have a way of changing pretty quickly. I can attest to that.
"Thank you, Officer Rat."
I think just gives him the side eye and then goes down below deck.
Just winks at him. And oh look, Fishguts has taken emotional damage. Guys are just gonna leave the ship and everyone's gonna be depressed.
Only the ones we leave behind.
Yeah, job done.
Only the ones that leave behind. The ones that come with us will be great.
Yeah. Have a whole crew, like ship of happy people leaving, and everyone on board is going, "Oh, I'm glad they're gone."
Just a storm cloud forms over the top of the
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah.
No, that's just me, Doug. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. That's just me.
Wait, what level are you? What level's call lightning?
You mean aggressive thundercloud, which I get next level?
Wait a second, this is bullshit. Oh man. All right, perfect. So Tazik, you're below deck. Eldon, I'll probably check in with you in a second. Morgan, is there anything you'd like to do while you're sitting in that box?
I guess she'll try to listen to conversation, but
Yeah, no, I guess
about
perception.
it. Yep.
Is that a 3 for a 12?
F is a doorknob.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, no, there ain't much you can hear from there. You do actually, if you adjust yourself just right, you can kind of look through a hole in the sweat box and look out and see that Crine and Scourge are talking together, but that's about it.
All right. Yeah. There's not much else I can do. Morgan's just
Oh.
chilling in the box.
All right.
Maybe having a nap.
All right. I dig it. Vibing in the box. Quint, you're fishing. And Eldon, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah, cooking away. Keeping eyes on dinner under the corner of my
All
eye.
right. Let's
Both dinners, I guess.
get a profession sailor. Solo
Okay.
cook.
Uh-oh. I'm in danger. Hey,
average.
average.
Hey, 15.
That's better than the last two rolls Quint made for cooking. Pretty sure.
All right,
Oh.
Master Chef here, working under the pressure of the chicken staring at the back of your head.
Yep.
Mm.
It's about right. Just chicken's just grilling me. Next week I'll be grilling the chicken. It's fine.
Oh my god! Don't eat the chicken. I mean, or eat the chicken. I don't give a shit.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
eat
eat
the
the
chicken.
fuck.
If we're leaving the ship, I'm taking the chicken with me, and it's gonna be our victory meal for escaping.
I cast
It's like
Exactly.
shocking grasp on the chicken.
That's humane. Kill
I
it.
reach out to shake the chicken's head, wing, and cast shocking grasp.
I reach out to pat it on the head. I bluff it to make it think I'm being nice, and I just cast shocking grasp.
The chicken's polymorphins.
Yeah, that would be the. Uh-oh.
Yeah, the wormwood just splits into two as like a Tarask appears.
Just ignore the fact that
All
Tarasks are immune to
Um,
magic, guys. Let's just ignore that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Supernatural
That's
polymorph.
right. That's
yeah.
right.
Oh no, that's good into like god level polymorph. The gods got tired of the Trask shit.
Yeah.
And polymorphed it.
I
Mythic polymorph.
think rules is that they're immune to wish as well.
Yeah.
Think.
No way, really?
Think.
Yeah, I think officially in Paizo, not in in like D&D, but in Pathfinder lore, they're basically the nth level thing. The gods had to band together to even get them trapped in a spot. Like the Trask is impossible
Pain
to
in the-
touch.
Yeah.
I think.
Alright,
I
cool.
think in Galarian too. There's in the Paizoverse, I think there's only 3 of them, and 2 of them have been like moved to impossible to leave dimensions. I
Yeah.
think something like that. Yeah.
Nice. Naturally, that's where we're going.
That's right. You guys are
One
going
of
to
us,
enter
we're going.
Besmara's booty, and there's going to be a Tarask waiting for you.
Asmara's in the maelstrom. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're going to the maelstrom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yo, I could.
Riding on
Buckle
a
up.
clockwork
Oh,
Leviathan.
dude, make a Kraken, but it's Tarask.
Tarakan.
Like,
Turduncan.
turducken? Oh no.
Duncan.
That's gonna be dinner's revenge. Oh no. It's the turducken.
Chicken dinner's actually a mind flayer.
Explains a lot.
Yep.
Poor Croup. Poor Croup had dinner around for too long.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Explains Tamtate as well.
After other than my cooking, Eldon was going to kind of find an opportunity where things were not in need of immediate attention and kind of make my way over to Grok's doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Grok, if I could inquire about something.
She turns to look at you, holding a dagger, or sorry, a cutlass in her hand, semi-intimidatingly, but like in the sense of that she's just like she's a strong, powerful woman who knows how to hold a weapon. You know, that level of intimidating.
Yeah,
The
intimidating, but also
kind
like,
you want her to crush you
nice.
with her thighs. Yes, yeah, exactly. You
Yeah,
got it.
right. yeah.
Normal
Normal.
thoughts.
Normal
Yeah.
thoughts.
Makes me more jealous of Quinn.
Understandable.
Everything's
It's okay.
But-
You're mind linked with him.
Oh, I know.
Oh my! Does it count as a
Oh,
3?
oh.
Anyway,
At this point,
so
that's-
she's holding the cutlass and she says, "Yes, dear."
I was wondering. I've something else I've been looking to acquire, and I believe I can see it back there on one of the shelves. But something might have come aboard around the same time I did. That would be some tools for a particular craft, and nothing too serious. But they're tools for used for a little bit of a craft, a little bit of something to pass the time, but also, add a little bit of style, a bit of intimidation, kind of gesture to the ink that I've got on my arm, my forearms and that, and say, got a kit to do, some tattoo work, and got my needles back there, and a set of needles that look very reminiscent of a set I used to have, I should say.
She's polishing the cutlass as she leans over you and whispers, "Diplomacy."
Eldon is like,
Say less.
diplomacy. All right.
Yes, mommy. I mean, correct.
That is a 16 for diplomacy.
She looks at you and but actually in character now, she looks at you and kind of steps to the side of her room and kicks the door open and nudges for you to come in.
All right, take a little half step inside the doorway.
She smells like metal polish.
The tracks.
And BO, of course. Like,
Of course. This is a pirate ship.
just kind of like the general ambiance.
I feel like we should all take a moment just to appreciate that this is like 30 unwashed people for the past week
Oh yeah.
in close quarters.
Except
And-
Eldon. Eldon's got prestidigitation.
That's
I'm just
true.
And
I'm
5
spotless all the
pigs
time.
in the hold, plus owlbear.
Plus out.
Quint has canonically bathed several times.
And
Yeah.
and the rotten crabs, guys. Can't forget the fetid
yeah, rotten
crabs.
crab.
Yep.
That is one thing I kind of never thought about, but like Eldon would be like weirdly clean all the time,
Yeah.
just because he can,
Yeah.
because he can clean himself and his clothing. Like Eldon just looks in good shape all the
Now,
time.
you didn't actually
Compared to
say
the
it,
rest
but
of
I
the
like to imagine that as soon as Krupp hung that apron, like he stepped out the door, you just like prestidigitation that thing clean.
Oh yeah, no, everything in the kitchen has to be clean. I'm cooking on that counter. It's not. I'm not letting that hang. Ew, yeah, that's somebody else might need that apron. I'm just gonna kind of clean that up. But yeah, as I'm kind of standing in the doorway, at a glance, is there anything that's kind of catches my eye within reach of me while she's kind of looking at other stuff in the other corner or looking for what I'm asked for?
Okay.
Is there anything kind of nearby? To
Oh, there's lots. There's tons in that room. You looking for anything in specifically?
Not necessarily anything specific, but anything that might be of use or of value, particularly something small, like that's kind of arm's reach or right next to me on a table, right next to me on
All
a shelf. Something that may not, but may have some kind of
All right.
value of some kind. Not like it's a bag of rocks. Like I don't need a bag.
You use detect magic and you're instantly blinded by this deck of cards.
Oh. I take it, I put it in the food pot, I rip them in half, throw the
Yeah.
like seasoning, get
Dude,
out of here.
you're on a ship. You have the perfect moment to relive like Yu-Gi-Oh and throw Exodia into the water.
I forgot about that.
Okay, no, hold on. Okay, if you're looking for something of potential
Something-
potency, let's say.
Potency, value, yeah. Like, is there
Hmm.
a scroll? Is there a small vial of some kind of chemical liquid? Is there
Can
something
you
sitting
roll?
kind of within?
I'm gonna get 2 rolls from you. First is gonna be a perception.
And appraise.
Perception and yes, actually, that's
Okay, so for perception, we got a 16.
okay. 16 for perception. Okay, that's enough to like get a quick look
Appraise
there.
is a trained skill. Is it not? Or is it not?
appraise might be trained actually. All right.
I think appraise is a trained. Oh no, it's not. It's not grayed out on our character sheets. It's not trained.
perfect.
Actually. I'm gonna roll an appraise. This is not nothing to write home about, sir. But that's an 8 to
An 8
appraise.
to appraise. Okay. All right.
And again, not necessarily looking for monetary value so much as something that catches my eye as something that could be potentially
Yep.
useful
Yep.
to have on hand.
Some-
But yeah, appraise. I guess.
Roll a
yeah,
d6.
kind
for
of get
me.
a sense of. Roll a d6. Got
A 4. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just trying to find here. Oh dear. Okay, this is gonna be an interesting one. All right, give me 2 seconds. I got to.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull something out of my ass here for you. You did grab a scroll. I'm just trying to decide what spell is on it.
Well, I'm not going for the grab yet. Just kind of catch it. Just kind of
looking, just
assessing.
kind of assessing. Yeah, there would be a
Yeah,
sleight of hand associated
I
with
got
that.
I got plans. Yeah, I got plans for the grab, but
Okay.
for how we're gonna handle
Alright.
the grab. But yeah,
Alright.
For now, I'm just kind of seeing what I can maybe get a hand on.
All right, so yeah, you got you see quite a bit in there, and I'm just going to. Oh my God, how many fucking spells? Okay, you rolled a 4 on that 6, right? Oh, buddy. Okay. Can you roll a d20 for me?
Yeah.
12. Okay.
12.
Do you want to use your hero point?
Not on that one. I don't have one. I used it on Gambit.
Actually, not bad. All right. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm only on. Oh, dude. Oops. I'm on the wrong spell list. That's better. Okay. Okay, and then
It's a scroll of prestidigitation.
oh
No.
oh okay, hold on, this is even more potent. Chef's kiss, you're good. I'm joking.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah, you can go grab your tattoo kit.
Okay. So while she's as she's kind of turning back to hand that to me. Okay. So I'll kind of stash that in my pouch or in my backpack or whatever, and then kind of take note of something random in the back corner of the room, kind of deep in the back corner of the room, and go, I gotta ask, what is that sitting way back there? And just try to bluff her into like just digging or looking for something in that direction for a few moments.
Bluff.
Try to use
Yep.
bluff to kind of replace my poor sleight of
I
hand.
got you. I hear what you're saying.
Right? Because I'm not gonna be that sneaky about picking it up. But
All
if I
right.
can get her attention that way, then
Well,
I
let's
can
see
maybe get
that
away
bluff.
with it. If it's kind of
Mhm.
on top of a table. So for bluff, we're looking at
She
a
turns.
23.
Nice.
And then while she turns, I will make a grab
All
for the
right.
scroll
And she
and try to jam it
Attaboy.
straight down my pants.
All right, you'll have some fun looking at that later. Anyway, you turn around as she turns back and says, "Oh, yes, it's a little unusual, isn't it?" And she gestures to the crossbow that's up there. Wonderful bit of technology that. I think they say it is repeating.
Well, interesting. Sure. Wonder if our more mechanically inclined friend Tazik might look at something like that. But anyway, sorry, not to keep you from your work, but I'll get back to work. Appreciate doing business with you, as always. If there's anything I can do for
She
you,
looks
please
at
let me
you
know.
and kind of looks around her room and she says, "You know, I'm very good at knowing what is and isn't in this place."
I have no doubt about that.
And with that, she winks at you and lets you go on your way.
Have a wonderful day, Gar.
And I had to take it out of my pants and I look at it.
Yeah, I go back to the kitchen, just go about my day. I'll close the door though. Don't let dinner get out.
All right. How does
Wise.
identifying scrolls work again? That's a spellcraft?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's spellcraft.
I cast
Pulling it
identify.
up here 'cause I forget myself. Cite for the writing. So I can either use read magic or a successful spellcraft of 20 plus the
But you can
spell
read magic, right? Oh,
So-
maybe not.
I don't. I have read magic, not yet. I'm picking up read magic.
All
next
right,
level.
so
I forgot to copy level 1, so no. So I could take. I'll take
Yep.
this. I could take the spellcraft to. Actually, can you take 20 on?
I don't know if you can.
Don't think you can take 20 on a spell.
Because I think no. Because taking 20. Well, taking 20 implies. You can fail it multiple times, but eventually succeed, right? So like deciphering a scroll doesn't really have
Yeah.
a downside if you fail. Just kind of fail to identify it.
Since there's a penalty for failing to identify, it looks like you can't take a 20, but that's a basic Google search.
Is there a penalty for failing to
double
identify?
check.
a
Does
Does
spell?
identify a spell being cast?
Is identify a spell being cast? But identifying I'm on the scrolls page. I don't think identifying
I
a
don't
scroll
think
actually has
so.
a penalty because reading a scroll doesn't activate it unless it's a curse.
Let's see. Take 20 on
So I think
identify
I
scroll.
think this.
I'm sure there's a forum post a mile
Curious.
long about this. Yes, you can take 20. There we go.
I mean, even if I can, if it's higher than a first level spell, I won't identify it. So it's
Oh,
like,
okay. So
it's almost a mute.
the way it
It's a moot
works.
point at that point because I have a plus. I have a plus. Oh no, maybe.
So
maybe
the
not.
way it
Spellcraft, I might
works
have a
is because there's no cursed items with effects that activate upon attempted identification. But if there were, you couldn't take 20. But since there aren't, you totally can.
Well, it does say that on the scrolls page, though, that deciphering a scroll does not activate it unless it's a specially
Okay.
prepared curse scroll.
But it's
Probably
yeah.
safe to assume it's not. If it's just like laying in
Yeah,
a
you should
storeroom.
be fine. I'll for now on stream I'll say
Okay.
take 20. In the future that might change.
Yeah, and I mean, take 20 takes time
Yeah.
anyway, so it's a full round action. But taking 20
Mhm.
takes like a couple minutes, so I'll kind of wait for an opportunity, and then with with between the cook and I will take 20 on my spellcraft, which should get me anything. Oh my god, I rolled nat 20. That's so funny. Oh wait, I'm so stupid. I took 20. I'm so stupid. I didn't roll a nat 20. I take 20.
Hey, buddy, it's okay. It's only you, me, and the
Okay.
rest of the internet that know this. Like, it's
Oof.
It's also one of those things like you take
Wow,
it, but it
that was-
rolls a number for you.
It rolls it anyway.
all right.
Use the shit on it.
So, yep,
Yes. Okay. So 7 to identify. So I think is anything under.
you have
7th level
identified the scroll. It is a scroll of, drum roll, please. Inflict pain.
Ooh.
Nice. Don't burn it on the chicken.
Target takes a -4 penalty on attack roll, skill checks, and ability checks.
Ah, got it. And a will save reduces the duration, but doesn't negate it. Interesting.
Good shit.
This is good.
Mhm.
Round.
And
to
even
the-
if they succeed on their
Okay.
check, it still affects them for 1 round.
Not bad.
Mm. So as a, I'm presuming this was prepared by a wizard, so it would probably be a
Mhm.
5-round duration, right? Because
That's right.
minimum 5th level. Okay. Cool. I will mark that down.
Oh
And
man,
I've got my tattoos.
Inquisitors get this at 2nd level.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah, some get early access to it. Actually, most get early
Wizard and
access
wizard,
except
yeah.
for
It's Sorcerer, Wizard, and Witch get it at level 3.
Yeah.
Everyone else is level 2.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
Yeah, which is
Well,
fine. I'm okay with it.
I'm going to ask, since it is 9:30, last call. Anything anybody wants to do?
Not necessarily.
All right. Well,
I'm
Quint,
good.
as you're up there fishing, this is the end cutscene. So, a murmur starts going across the ship as Gifford Tibbs shouts, and people run to the deck where she's standing, looking in the direction of she's looking. And Quint, you stare off into the distance, and you see something tasty. A ship.
Good.
And that's where we're going to end it for today. All right,
All right.
guys.
Oh yeah.
Woo.
Bye, Twitch.